Millions of years ago, on the vast land of Africa, there lived a creature that did not appear powerful in any way. It was not as terrifying as a lion, nor as fast as a cheetah. It had no sharp claws, no strong jaws, no intimidating body. The truth is, it was prey. Every morning, its eyes may have opened with the same question: will I survive today? Around it stretched the open savannas, and within them roamed hungry predators. Nature's rule was simple: the strong survive, the weak disappear. By that rule, this species should have vanished long ago. But it didn't. Something changed. At some moment in time, within that fragile body, a remarkable transformation began, a spark that not only kept it alive, but millions of years later laid the foundation for humanity's dominance over the entire world. This is the story of that journey. If we travel back nearly 4 million years, Africa did not look the way it does today. It was covered in dense forests, filled with humidity, and life thrived among the trees. Among those trees lived one of our ancient ancestors, Australopithecus. Their lives were not very different from apes. They ate fruit, climbed trees, and hid among branches whenever danger appeared. Their brains were small. Their bodies had not yet taken full human form. Then climate began to change. Forests started shrinking. Rainfall patterns shifted. Trees disappeared, replaced by vast open grasslands. The safety of the trees was gone, and descending to the ground became a necessity. At that critical moment, a remarkable shift occurred. Australopithecus gradually began to walk upright on two legs. This was not just a physical change, it was an evolutionary revolution. Standing upright meant seeing farther across the tall grass, spotting predators earlier, and searching for food more effectively. Most importantly, the hands were freed. Now they could carry objects, hold their young, and lay the groundwork for another powerful ability: the use of tools. That was the first brick upon which the entire structure of humanity would eventually be built. Walking on two legs was a major step, but the true revolution was still ahead. Time passed, not thousands but millions of years. Around 2.8 million years ago, the Homo lineage began. Within that lineage emerged a new species, Homo habilis. The name means the handyman, the human skilled with hands. This was no coincidence. It described their greatest strength. For the first time, a human ancestor deliberately broke a stone. Not just broke it, but shaped its edge to make it sharp. It was not a beautiful weapon. It lacked symmetry and refinement. But it had something far more important: intention. This was the first moment in history when something from nature was consciously modified to serve a purpose. It marked the beginning of human technology. Homo habilis was not yet a powerful hunter. It could not compete with large predators. But it was no longer helpless. When a large predator abandoned its kill, that became an opportunity. Taking great risks, Homo habilis would cut off remaining meat and crack open bones to extract the marrow inside. That nutrient-rich substance became fuel for brain growth. It was not just food, it was energy for intelligence. In nature, victory often belongs to physical strength. But here a new strategy emerged. Not strength, but thinking. Homo habilis proved that survival required more than muscles. It required intelligence. It was not yet a complete hunter, but it opened the door to the next stage. Around 1.9 million years ago, in the plains of East Africa, a new form appeared: Homo erectus. A more balanced body, longer legs, improved posture. Where its ancestors walked slightly bent, Homo erectus stood almost fully upright. Its body structure was strikingly similar to modern humans. Long legs allowed it to travel great distances. With less body hair and the ability to sweat, it could cool itself efficiently. It was not the fastest runner, but it could endure longer than almost any other creature. Yet the greatest transformation was not in the body, but inside the skull. The brain of Homo erectus was significantly larger than that of its predecessor. This growth was not only in size, but in capability. Better memory, problem-solving skills, and most importantly, cooperation. They were no longer just a group. They could function as an organized team. In 1984, near Lake Turkana in Kenya, scientists discovered an almost complete skeleton known as Turkana Boy. It was about 1.6 million years old. The boy was estimated to be between 8 and 11 years old, and already unusually tall. This was clear evidence that human physical evolution had entered a new phase. Around the same time, the Acheulean hand axe appeared, a carefully shaped, symmetrical tool crafted on both sides. It was not merely a stone. It was design. Selecting the right material, striking at precise angles, shaping it repeatedly, all required mental planning. This was the moment humans began to understand balance and symmetry. The skill was passed from generation to generation. Tool-making was no longer random. It became structured knowledge. For millions of years, night symbolized danger. But Homo erectus transformed fire from enemy to ally. Evidence from Wonderware Cave suggests that they knew how to use fire. Fire provided protection, warmth, cooked food, and strengthened social bonds. Gathered around flames, humans did not just warm their bodies, they built society. Homo erectus became a true hunter. Through a strategy known as persistence hunting, they exhausted prey over long distances. It was not a game of power, but of patience and intelligence. Teamwork was their true strength. Around 1.8 million years ago, they left Africa. Fossils found in Dmanisi confirm this migration. They spread into Europe, Asia, Java, and China. Each new land brought new challenges, yet they adapted. It became clear that the true human weapon was not the body, but the mind. Homo erectus lived on Earth for nearly 2 million years. But over time, new species emerged, Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. Competition increased. The climate changed. Gradually, Homo erectus faded from the evolutionary path. But they were not a failure. They were the step without which we could never have climbed higher. Bipedal walking, tools, fire, hunting, migration. These were their foundations. When we sit around fire, use tools, or dream of exploring new lands, we continue their legacy. They did not truly disappear. They evolved into us. Their story reminds us that true power lies not in the body, but in the mind. And it was that mind which transformed a fragile prey species into the most influential being on Earth. The journey did not end. It is still unfolding.